Our planet is a realm of wonder and mystery, where the forces of nature and the passage of time have carved secrets beyond imagination. There exist places so astonishing they seem to belong to another world. Landscapes where the boundary between reality and dream dissolves into mist. From the black depths of the oceans to peaks that pierce the heavens, from radiant cities alive with human spirit to countrysides so serene they feel eternal, Earth reveals itself as a living symphony composed of stone, water, fire, and wind. Every mountain stands as a silent witness to the ages. Every desert holds whispers of forgotten histories. Every forest hides the pulse of life still unfolding. These are not just places on a map, but portals into stories written long before us, legends etched into valleys, mysteries buried beneath ruins, and wonders waiting in the uncharted corners of the globe. This is not merely about seeing beauty. It is about feeling the soul of the earth itself and awakening the explorer within you. Aigues-Mortes, France. Hidden within the marshlands of southern France lies Aigues-Mortes, a medieval fortress town that feels frozen in time. Built in the 13th century under King Louis IX, its massive stone walls stretch for nearly 1 mile, enclosing streets that whisper stories of crusades, merchants, and ancient salt traders. Unlike many European towns, Aigues-Mortes has remained remarkably intact, with its towers and gates still standing as they did over 700 years ago. The town's name means dead waters, a reference to the marshes that once protected it from invaders. Even today, shimmering pink salt flats surround the fortress, creating surreal landscapes that look like they belong to another planet. These surreal landscapes, colored by tiny algae that thrive in the salty water, create shimmering hues of rose and crimson, changing with the light of the sun. Walking through Aigues-Mortes is like stepping back into a living documentary, where history, legend, and nature merge into one unforgettable wonder. High above northern Italy, the Dolomites transform into a living canvas each autumn. From the air, jagged limestone peaks rise like ancient cathedrals, their pale stone glowing against forests ignited in shades of gold, crimson, and amber. Valleys, once green in summer, turn into rivers of color, winding between alpine meadows and mirror-like lakes that reflect the fiery landscape. The Dolomites, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, are not only geological marvels, formed over 200 million years ago from ancient coral reefs, but also seasonal wonders, changing dramatically with light and weather. In autumn, mist often drifts through the peaks, giving the aerial view an ethereal, almost dreamlike quality. From soaring eagles to quiet villages nestled in the valleys, every perspective reveals nature's artistry at its peak. Flying over the Dolomites in this season is like witnessing Earth's own masterpiece, where stone, forest, and sky merge in breathtaking harmony. The Caves, Dahab, Egypt. Just beneath the surface of the Red Sea, south of Dahab, lies one of Egypt's most mesmerizing dive sites, the Caves. Unlike deep technical dives, this site is shallow, yet it holds an otherworldly beauty that has made it legendary among divers. Over thousands of years, waves and living coral carved natural tunnels and arches into the reef, forming a labyrinth of stone corridors bathed in shifting light. Sunbeams pierce through cracks in the ceiling, illuminating schools of fish that dart between walls encrusted with sponges and soft corals. The effect is almost cathedral-like, as if you are gliding through a sacred world hidden beneath the sea. Unlike the nearby Blue Hole, known for its danger, the caves offers a gentler descent, accessible yet filled with mystery. Every passage tells a story of time, water, and life itself. To enter is to step into a hidden wonder where the Red Sea reveals its secret heart. Mont Saint-Michel, France. Rising from the tidal flats of Normandy like a vision from myth, Mont Saint-Michel is one of France's most astonishing wonders. This rocky island, crowned by a medieval abbey, seems to float on the sea when the tide is high, and when the waters retreat, vast sandbanks stretch endlessly around it. Built in the 8th century as a sanctuary to the Archangel Michael, the abbey became both a place of pilgrimage and a fortress that was never conquered. Its narrow streets, spiraling upward through stone walls and half-timbered houses, led to soaring Gothic spires that catch the light like beacons. What makes Mont Saint-Michel truly unique is the tide itself. It shifts with dramatic speed, rising as much as 40 feet, one of the highest tidal ranges in Europe. This natural rhythm has shaped the island's legend, inspiring centuries of awe, mystery, and devotion. To stand before Mont Saint-Michel is to witness a place where nature and faith created a wonder that feels suspended between heaven and earth. Straddling the border between the United States and Canada, Niagara Falls is one of the most powerful natural spectacles on Earth. More than 6 million cubic feet of water plunge over its cliffs every single minute, creating a roar so loud it can be felt in your chest. The falls are actually 3 separate cascades: the American Falls, the Bridal Veil Falls, and the mighty Horseshoe Falls, which carries about 90% of the river's flow. Formed around 12,000 years ago at the end of the Ice Age, Niagara has been slowly carving its way upstream, retreating over 7 miles from its original location. Beyond its sheer beauty, the falls generate hydroelectric power, providing energy to millions of homes in both nations. Legends of daredevils, barrel riding over the falls, and tales from indigenous peoples who revered it as sacred add layers of mystery to its story. Carved directly into the volcanic rock of Cappadocia, Selim Monastery is the largest rock-cut religious complex in Turkey and one of its most astonishing hidden wonders. Dating back to the 8th or 9th century, the monastery was not simply a place of worship, it was a thriving community. Inside its honeycomb of chambers are chapels, kitchens, stables, and even a cathedral-sized church with soaring ceilings carved entirely by hand. The walls once held vibrant frescoes, traces of which can still be seen, whispering stories of Byzantine monks who prayed and taught here. Selim also guarded strategic trade routes of the Silk Road, serving as both a spiritual refuge and a fortress. Legends say Star Wars took visual inspiration from Cappadocia's surreal landscapes, and walking through Selime's towering rock spires, it's easy to see why. Few visitors realize that this single site combines the functions of a monastery, castle, and village, making it a rare glimpse into a hidden chapter of human ingenuity carved into stone. Perched on a crumbling hilltop in central Italy, Civita di Bagnoregio is often called the Dying City. Founded by the Etruscans more than 2,500 years ago, the town seems suspended in time, connected to the outside world only by a long pedestrian bridge. What makes Civita extraordinary is its fragility. The soft volcanic tufa rock on which it stands is constantly eroding, causing buildings and streets to slowly vanish into the valleys below. Once a thriving community, today only a handful of residents remain, keeping alive centuries-old traditions within medieval stone houses and narrow alleys. Despite its decline, the town is hauntingly beautiful, especially when mist blankets the surrounding canyon, making Civita appear like an island floating in the sky. Writers have described it as a place where history, beauty, and mortality converge. To walk its cobblestone paths is to feel both wonder and melancholy, as if you're exploring a living ghost suspended between past and present. Deep beneath the rolling hills of New Zealand's North Island lies one of nature's most enchanting spectacles, the Waitomo glowworm caves. Formed over millions of years by underground rivers cutting through limestone, these caverns hold a secret that sets them apart from any other cave on Earth. Hanging from the ceilings are thousands of tiny glowworms, Arachnocampa luminosa, a species found only in New Zealand. Their bioluminescence transforms the darkness into a galaxy of living stars, casting an ethereal blue-green glow across the subterranean river. Drifting silently by boat beneath this glittering canopy feels like entering another world where science and magic meet. The glow is not just for beauty, it is a survival tool, luring insects into sticky silk threads. Yet for visitors, it creates an unforgettable illusion, as if the Milky Way itself has descended underground. Clinging to the slopes of a granite mountain in central Portugal, Monsanto is a village unlike any other in the world. Known as the most Portuguese village in Portugal, it is famous for the way its houses are built directly into, around, and even beneath enormous boulders. Some homes use these giant stones as walls or roofs, creating surreal architecture where nature and human design are inseparable. The origins of Monsanto stretch back to prehistoric times, with traces of ancient fortifications and a medieval castle that still crowns the summit. Its narrow, cobbled streets wind between towering rocks, leading to viewpoints that overlook vast plains and distant mountains. For centuries, Monsanto's unique construction was born from necessity, using the massive granite formations as ready-made shelters and defenses. Hidden in the highlands of northern Bali, Tamblingen Lake is a place where nature and spirituality intertwine in haunting beauty. Formed within an ancient volcanic caldera, the lake sits more than 4,000 feet above sea level, often wrapped in drifting mist that gives it an almost otherworldly atmosphere. Unlike Bali's more tourist-heavy sites, Tamblingen remains quiet and sacred, surrounded by dense tropical forest that locals believe is protected by guardian spirits. Along its shores stand centuries-old temple shrines, some of which appear half-submerged when the water rises, creating surreal reflections of stone gates and pagoda-like towers floating on the surface. The lake has no modern boats. Only traditional wooden canoes are allowed, preserving its tranquil, timeless feel. For the Balinese, Tamblingen is not just a natural lake, but a spiritual reservoir of balance and purity. To visit is to glimpse a hidden side of Bali, where myth and landscape merge into a wonder that feels untouched by time. The baobab tree of Madagascar, often called the Tree of Life, is one of the planet's most surreal natural wonders. These giants can rise nearly 30 meters tall, with trunks so wide, sometimes 11 meters across, that they look like fortresses of wood. Some are believed to be over 1,000 years old, holding within them the memory of countless seasons. Their trunks store thousands of liters of water, a lifeline during the island's long dry periods, making them essential to both wildlife and people. Madagascar is unique in harboring 6 endemic baobab species, each shaping the ecosystem in ways found nowhere else. Along the famous Avenue of the Baobabs near Morondava, these ancient trees stand like silent guardians, especially breathtaking under the golden light of dawn or dusk. Folklore tells that the gods planted the baobab upside down, which is why its branches resemble roots stretching to the sky. Rising from the vast Atlantic, Corvo Island is Portugal's smallest and most remote island, a world shaped entirely by volcanic fire. At its heart lies Calderon, a colossal crater nearly 2 miles wide and over 1,000 feet deep. Inside this natural amphitheater, shimmering lakes and tiny islets create a surreal map-like pattern that locals say resembles the world itself. As if nature carved a miniature Earth within stone. Life here feels untouched by time. Fewer than 500 residents live in the island's only village, Vila do Corvo, where narrow stone streets, whitewashed houses, and wind-swept pastures reveal a rhythm of simplicity and endurance against the ocean. Far from the crowds of mainland Portugal, Corvo is both isolated and extraordinary. Each autumn, storms sweep rare birds from North America across the ocean, transforming this hidden island into a sanctuary for ornithologists and explorers. Rising dramatically from the Atlantic Ocean, the cliffs of Moher are Ireland's most awe-inspiring natural wonder. Stretching for nearly 9 miles, these cliffs tower more than 700 feet above the crashing waves below. Their sheer faces of dark limestone and shale have been sculpted by wind, water, and time for over 300 million years. Standing at the edge, you feel the raw force of nature, powerful, untamed, eternal. The cliffs are also alive with wildlife. Over 20 species of seabirds, including puffins and razorbills, nest along their ledges, making this one of Europe's most important bird sanctuaries. Both a geological masterpiece and a cultural icon, the cliffs of Moher remain one of the Earth's most breathtaking frontiers, where land ends and the vast Atlantic begins. Hidden in the rugged San Juan Mountains of southwestern Colorado, Owl Creek Pass is a winding gateway into one of America's most cinematic landscapes. At over 10,000 feet in elevation, the pass reveals sweeping meadows, jagged peaks, and forests that blaze with color each autumn. Towering cliffs of Cimarron Ridge, sculpted from ancient volcanic rock, rise like stone cathedrals above the valley, their layers telling a story millions of years in the making. Though remote, Owl Creek Pass holds a quiet fame. It was here that the final gunfight in the classic film True Grit was filmed, forever tying the landscape to Hollywood legend. Yet beyond its cinematic history, the pass is a hidden treasure for hikers, photographers, and anyone seeking the raw solitude of the Rockies. High in the Colombian Andes lies Cocora Valley, a dreamlike landscape where the earth seems to stretch toward the heavens. Here stand the wax palms of Quindío, the tallest palm trees on the planet, soaring up to 200 feet into the misty sky. Their slender trunks rise from emerald green meadows and cloud forests, creating a scene so surreal it feels painted by imagination rather than nature. These forests are not only breathtaking, they are vital, protecting fragile ecosystems and providing shelter for endangered species like the yellow-eared parrot. For centuries, Cocora has been considered sacred by locals, its towering palms symbols of resilience and life itself. Hidden deep in the mountains of the eastern Himalayas, Ubeng is a remote Tibetan village so secluded it can only be reached on foot or horseback. Surrounded by glaciers, roaring waterfalls, and peaks that brush the sky, Ubeng feels less like a settlement and more like a secret world, untouched by time. Towering above it all is Meili Snow Mountain, sacred to Tibetan Buddhists, drawing pilgrims who journey here seeking blessings and connection to the divine. Ubeng itself is split into two hamlets, Upper and Lower, linked by winding trails through forests and streams. The air is crisp, the silence profound, broken only by the sound of prayer flags fluttering in the wind. Local legend says this is a place where heaven and earth meet, and many believe the spirits of the mountains watch over the valley. In the heart of New Jersey, far from the deserts of India, rises a wonder few expect to find in America. The BAPS Swaminarayan Akshardham, the largest Hindu temple outside of India. Completed in the year 2023, this breathtaking sanctuary was crafted from nearly 2 million cubic feet of Italian Carrara marble and Indian pink sandstone, each piece hand-carved by artisans across the world before being assembled like an immense puzzle. Its towering spires, delicate domes, and thousands of sculpted deities and motifs tell timeless stories of faith, culture, and philosophy. Step inside, and the temple's interiors glow with intricate marble carvings that seem impossibly detailed. From lotus flowers to celestial beings, every inch a celebration of sacred art. But Akshardham is not just architecture, it is living tradition. Here, spiritual teachings meet cultural preservation, offering visitors a place of reflection, beauty, and peace. Deep in Ethiopia's remote Danakil Depression, where the air shimmers with heat and the land looks almost alien, Erta Ale rises, a basalt shield volcano with a rare, mesmerizing secret. At its summit lies one of the few permanent lava lakes on Earth, a roiling cauldron of molten rock that has been burning for decades. Nicknamed the Gateway to Hell by locals, Erta Ale is a place where the planet's lifeblood is on full display. Standing on its rim at night, you can watch fiery fountains bubble and burst, casting an otherworldly red glow across the barren desert. The ground trembles underfoot, and the air is thick with the scent of sulfur. Reminders that you're standing atop a living, breathing piece of Earth's mantle. In the turquoise heart of the Maldives lies Digura Island, a narrow ribbon of white sand stretching like a brushstroke across the ocean. Unlike the private resort isles that dot the archipelago, Digura is a living, breathing, local island, its name meaning Long Island in Divehi. It runs nearly 2.5 miles in length, fringed by one of the Maldives' longest beaches, where soft sand merges seamlessly with the endless blue of the Indian Ocean. What makes Digura extraordinary is not just its beauty, but its secrets beneath the waves. The island is part of the South Ari Atoll, one of the best places on Earth to encounter whale sharks year-round. These gentle giants, the largest fish in the sea, glide alongside divers and snorkelers in waters alive with coral reefs, manta rays, and vibrant marine life. In Kyoto's western hills lies one of Japan's most enchanting wonders, the Arashiyama bamboo forest. Step into this towering green corridor, and the modern world fades away. Stalks of bamboo rise more than 60 feet into the sky, swaying gently with the wind. Each movement creates a hypnotic rustling, an otherworldly sound so unique it has been officially recognized by Japan's Ministry of Environment as one of the country's 100 soundscapes. The forest is more than beauty. It is a living symbol of resilience and harmony in Japanese culture. For centuries, bamboo has been revered as a protector against evil, used in temples, festivals, and even samurai armor. High in the mountains of Madeira, Portugal's island of eternal spring, there is a world that few travelers ever see. When the Atlantic winds carry mist across the ridges, the peaks vanish into shifting clouds, transforming the landscape into something dreamlike and otherworldly. Ancient laurel forests, older than the Ice Age and protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, come alive in the fog. Moss-draped branches twisting like sculptures, waterfalls emerging from the haze, and trails that feel more like secret passages between realms. Madeira's fog is more than a weather pattern. It is part of the island's soul. Locals call it nevoeiro, a veil that nourishes the forests, feeding rivers and sustaining rare plants found nowhere else on Earth. For hikers along the Levadas, the island's historic irrigation channels, walking through the mist feels like stepping into a living myth. In the middle of Peru's vast desert, where rolling dunes rise like golden waves, lies a sight so surreal, it feels like a mirage. Huacachina, the only natural desert oasis in South America. A small emerald lagoon, fringed with palms and surrounded by towering sand dunes, it has been celebrated for centuries in local legend as a place of healing, said to have formed from the tears of a lost Incan princess. Today, Huacachina is both mystical and adventurous. The lagoon reflects the fiery colors of sunset, while the surrounding dunes invite sandboarders and dune buggies to carve across their shifting slopes. Yet beyond the thrill, there is a silence here, a desert vastness that reminds visitors how fragile and precious an oasis truly is. Through the heart of Sri Lanka winds one of the most breathtaking rail journeys on Earth, the scenic train ride from Kandy to Ella. The tracks snake through emerald green tea plantations, misty cloud forests, and mountain valleys painted in endless shades of green. Colonial-era locomotives rumble past waterfalls, tumbling down cliffs, while locals lean from open doors, letting the wind carry the scent of cinnamon, rain, and earth. Built by the British in the 19th century to transport tea, this railway has become a moving window into the soul of Sri Lanka. Every curve reveals a new scene. Terraced hills worked by tea pickers in bright saris, villages perched on ridges, bridges arched over lush ravines. The most famous, the Nine Arches Bridge, is an icon of engineering and beauty, its stone arches blending seamlessly into the surrounding jungle. This ride is more than transportation. It is a slow, rhythmic journey where time seems to stretch, carrying travelers through landscapes so cinematic they feel unreal. Stretching along the northwestern edge of Namibia, the Skeleton Coast is one of the most hauntingly beautiful and unforgiving places on Earth. Here, the blazing Namib Desert collides with the cold, turbulent waters of the Atlantic Ocean. Thick fog rolls in from the sea, shrouding a coastline littered with the rusting remains of shipwrecks, silent relics of vessels that fell victim to the treacherous currents and shifting sandbars. Its name comes not only from these skeletal ships, but also from the bleached whale and seal bones that once lined the shore during the days of whaling. On the remote island of Sumba in eastern Indonesia, tradition is not a memory of the past. It is daily life. Here, villages rise with their signature sky-reaching thatched roofs, homes built as sacred bridges between humans, ancestors, and the divine. The land itself is dotted with massive stone megalithic tombs, some of the largest still in use anywhere on Earth, echoing rituals that stretch back thousands of years. Sumba's spirit is most vividly alive in the Pasola Festival, a breathtaking spectacle where warriors on horseback charge across open fields, hurling wooden spears in a ritual that honors the harvest and the ancestors. It is not just sport, but a living prayer written in dust, sweat, and courage. Beyond these traditions, the island is a land of contrasts, wild coastlines, turquoise seas, cascading waterfalls, and endless savannas. Yet its true wonder lies in the resilience of its people, who preserve a culture as untamed and powerful as the landscapes themselves. Sumba is not simply a destination. It is a living epic where myth and reality ride side by side. Kolmanskop, in the Namib Desert of southern Namibia, is a ghost town frozen in time and slowly being swallowed by the sand. Once a booming diamond mining settlement in the early 1900s, it was built in grand German colonial style, complete with lavish homes, a ballroom, a hospital, and even the first X-ray machine in the Southern Hemisphere. But when the diamond rush ended in the 1950s, the desert began to reclaim what was left. Today, wind-carved dunes spill through doorways and bury entire rooms in golden sand, creating hauntingly beautiful scenes of nature overpowering human ambition. High above the sweeping landscapes of Iceland, a different world unfolds. One of raw, untouched beauty, where rural life meets the forces of fire and ice. From the air, tiny farms cling to emerald green fields, carved out between black lava plains, glacial rivers, and volcanic mountains. Red-roofed cottages dot the horizon, like bright brushstrokes against vast expanses of moss and stone, reminders of human resilience in one of Earth's harshest environments. Rural Iceland is a land shaped by extremes: midnight sun in summer, endless night in winter, and skies often lit by the dancing aurora borealis. Sheep wander freely across open pastures, while Icelandic horses, sturdy and graceful, move with a gait unique in the world. Life here flows with the rhythm of nature, fishing, farming, and traditions passed down for generations.